Within hours of Joe Biden stepping aside and endorsing Kamala Harris, there was a massive change in the climate, the attitude of this country. Now, before Joe Biden stepped aside, there was a lot of people that were in kind of a dark place. They weren't sure that Joe Biden could beat Donald Trump. They seemed to be without hope. And then all of a sudden, Joe Biden steps aside, endorses Kamala Harris, and now all of a sudden, people are excited. They're jumping up and down. The climate has changed. The attitude has changed. And why? Because now all of a sudden, they're feeling some hope. Now, we can't blame Joe Biden for this. Joe Biden's getting older, and that's just what we do. But I want to make the comparison as to why we see the change. Now, Joe Biden is one of the finest politicians we've seen, probably one of the best presidents I've ever seen. But he has a little different style. He's more tactical. He's more low-key. He's not as confrontational. He's more about sitting back and playing defense. And unfortunately, when you have an opponent like Donald Trump, who is a loudmouth, high-energy, lying motherfucker, that's a mismatch. Guy like that, whether he's telling the truth or lies, will run over a guy who's more tactical and maybe more low-key. And that's why he was doing what he was doing. And that's why people didn't have hope. They wanted somebody that was going to fight back and knock that motherfucker on his ass. And Joe, well, that's just not his style. It isn't just because he's old. That's how Joe's been all of his life. He's been highly successful, but he runs into this aberration, Donald Trump, and it's a tough matchup. So when they switched it over to Kamala Harris, everybody got excited because they knew Kamala was a fucking warrior. She was loud, fast, smart, articulate, and tough. She'll walk right up to Donald Trump, get in his face, slap the taste out of his mouth, and compete with him. And the problem Donald Trump has is he's a bully, so he's a coward. And the moment somebody pushes back, that motherfucker curls up in a corner in the fetal position. This is why Donald Trump is so upset, and this is why the vast majority of the country are so excited about Kamala. Finally, in their minds, we have a warrior, we have a fighter to take down this fucking aberration of Donald Trump. I get it, and you're right. So we need to get behind our champion and make sure she vanquishes this piece of shit. So the difference between before Kamala and now is one word: hope. And I've always told you, you always have hope. Even when Joe Biden was running, I had a lot of hope because I knew he could beat Donald Trump. But we needed everybody to feel that way, and now they do. So Donald Trump is fucked. Kamala will win, and we'll be able to get back on track to straightening out this country.